With all my IELTS students, if there was one problem that I could name that people have in IELTS speaking, where you have these parts 1, 2, and 3, the number one problem is losing marks on task response. And this is, of course, apparent with students who are low scorers, but it's even more apparent with high scorers. So we have students in classes who they know they are confident and who we tell you're going to score 7.5 bands, 8 bands, easy. But then in the exam, they get stuck. Something happens and they come back with 6. And why does that happen with the really efficient people? And this is a lesson in task response. Guys, the best strategy, I'm not gonna delay it, I'm just gonna tell you right now, the best strategy is you have 2 answers per question. And I'll show you what I mean by this. So if I look at question number 1, do you live in a house or an apartment? And I mentioned that I live in a house. That is not a point, that is the answer. So that's not considered 1 point. That means I cannot stop here. I need to elaborate. Okay, how much should I elaborate? Let's say I talk about this answer, okay? I say that I live in a house, and this house is located in the Bona Vista area in Winnipeg, which is an amazing area. The area has lots of really good people, friendly people. It's new, so it doesn't have big trees, but it is pretty clean, and there's some construction going on around here because it's new. So let's say I stop here, okay? The problem is I have explained the answer. That's good. But how many points have I done? I said a lot of things, but it was all centered around 1 point, which was me talking about the area. And that may or may not be a problem, depending on the examiner, how they mark you. These guys have pretty standard marking schemes, so usually across the board they have the same criteria, but we have seen results vary from examiner to examiner, just saying. Now, if we are really sticking to that criteria followed by examiners strictly, the place where you're losing marks, it's not grammar, it's not tone, it is your task response. You have just given me 1 point. I didn't even ask about your area. I was asking about the house, so talk about that more. Okay, so 1 point can be the area, but let's make it smaller. I live in the Bona Vista area. It is a new area, which means we have lots of construction, but also lots of good-looking homes as well. Moreover, now, okay, so I shortened that first point. It's still 1 point talking about that area. It's specific, but now I'm saying moreover. And I'm going to say moreover, the thing I really like about my house is that it has these bright colors. There's no dark color in my house at all. The walls are white and sometimes beige, depending on the area of the house, which just gives the house an overall positive and optimistic environment. Now, my second point, as you can tell, is centered around the colors of the house and what they do for me, what are they about, and I have now finished my answer. I've told you about the area of the house and the colors of the house. 2 points, now my task response is fully done. You say this much, and then you stop talking. If the examiner is looking at you, sometimes they do that to intimidate you. Sometimes it's just a person being a person, but you have done your job. Now, if they ask you, can you speak more? Can you say something more? Then you can state another point. But if you're following the strategy and if you explain it exactly the way I have explained it to you, they never, 100% of the times, they would never ask you to explain more. It's only in certain cases when students speak very little, they think they have done 2 points, but they have just done 2 short phrases. In those cases, the examiner might push you to explain more. But basically, by doing these 2 points per question, you're going to be solid. Similarly, if it's about what kind of job do you do, I'm a teacher, so I can talk about the subjects I teach, and I can talk about why I do this, because it benefits me and my students. I'm providing value where they learn, and I feel better about their learning, and I also get a chance to earn some money. So there's 2 points here. Good enough, okay? Same thing. The same thing goes for cue cards. Yes, that is correct. So when you have your cue card with you, when it's asked, for example, they're talking about a place you have recently visited that you really enjoyed. Where is it? So the place that I visited recently was this park near my home, and it is located in this area. I'm going to mention the exact location. I can make it up if you want your privacy. The other thing is it's next to this big shopping mall, which means this area is really crowded because a lot of people park in the shopping mall. However, it's a nice location because a lot of those shoppers later come and experience some nature in the park. So 2 points just about where it is, and a lot of you think that where it is 1 point. You know, where it is, what it is. It could be, but again, I have consulted different IELTS examiners. There is a difference of opinion. What I have come down to as a conclusion is having 2 points per question will just make you safe. It's the safest strategy to apply. So 2 points here. Who you went there with. So 1 point is obviously going to be the person I went with, my relationship with them. And then always ask yourself, if you're struggling to think, ask yourself why. Why did I go with this person? Because they're really close to me, they're friendly, they knew this area, anything about them. What did you do there? Well, I'm very physical, so I ran, and I can talk about how long I ran. Now I want to ask myself, why? Why did I run? Because I am a fitness freak. I love to stay fit and lean, and burning off fats while running in the park is one of the best things you could do. Last one, and explain why you enjoyed it. Well, I had the company of my friend. My friend is a jokester. He makes me laugh all the time, and his humor is really captivating, which means every minute I spend with him is a minute I spend with happiness and joy. Moreover, I went there especially now because it's the fall season and it's about to get really cold. Right now, the atmosphere with the falling leaves and the changing colors makes the environment looks so extremely pleasant that I just enjoyed looking at the scenery and the beauty of the nature here in Canada. And that's it. So you basically do 2 points here. 1 point was I enjoyed it because I liked the scenery and the beauty. The other point was I liked it because I was with good company. Again, 2 points. Basically here we're trying to do 8 points, 2 per bullet. Keeps you the safest. Your task response remains strong. Similarly, you go to part 3. Again, use the same approach, and if you're thinking if it's not enough, you could go up to 3 points. You usually never need to do more than 3 points. 3 is usually the max. Why did I mention that now? Because part 3, some questions are long. Some are very descriptive, so you can think of 2 to 3 points, but in parts 1 and 2, I would say limit yourself to 2 points. So something like, do you think technology has made travel easier or more complicated? I would say it has made it easier. You have autonomous cars. I could talk about that. 1 point. Another point could be about how you have more signals, more digital signs, which helps in navigation, and they're easy to change too, because you can change them on a computer instead of changing them physically as a board. That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. Remember that strategy for task response, and it'll keep you sharp in your IELTS speaking. All the best, and please, if you found value in this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. I do really appreciate it.